2020 Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat Redeye seized in a dangerous high-speed Houston chase now joins the Texas DPS fleet as one of their police cars. This is no average SRT Hellcat Redeye, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 1,080 horsepower Hellcat Redeye that Texas police officers or Texas Police Department now owns and actively uses. Police officers are getting tired of you running from them, and they're doing anything that they can to fight fire with fire. And they're taking your cars in the process and using them against you. Let's just get into it, man. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video for you guys. So as you can tell, I'm in a car. That makes it a car vlog. You already know what's going down when I come around. Let's get into it, man. Car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets, anything and everything car related happens on this channel, man. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around because you are in the right place. For everyone else, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out. Dodge Hellcat seized in dangerous high-speed Houston chase now joins the Texas DPS fleet. Texas Department of Public Safety is what DPS stands for, has a new addition to its fleet of Texas Highway Patrol vehicles after a dangerous Houston high-speed chase, which led to an arrest last year. A 2020 Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat Redeye was seized in April 2021 when the driver was arrested after a chase, reaching over 160 miles per hour, driving erratically, according to Texas DPS. The same car driven in the chase has since been converted to a black and white Texas Highway Patrol vehicle outfitted with emergency lights and police radar and radio. You guys have seen this on TikTok before. This dude literally pulled up to a car meet with the lights flashing, Hellcat Redeye. I posted it as a short. It's been going viral all over the place. According to DPS, they saw two vehicles racing, and a trooper decided to chase him. And what do I always say? What are the three things you got to have in a police chase? You got to know where you're going, you got to have the power, and you got to have gas. The chase became too dangerous for the police officer to continue on with, so he just kind of kept the other officers updated as far as the location of the Hellcat. The 1,080 horsepower, this is not a regular Hellcat Redeye, ladies and gentlemen. 1,080 horsepower Hellcat Redeye eventually ran out of fuel near I-10 and the West Sam Houston Parkway. The driver fled on foot after eventually being caught, and the car was awarded to the Texas DPS in January, and now will be used for Texas enforcement, for traffic enforcement and community events around the state. And he was also charged with felony evading and unlawfully carrying a weapon. They're going to be using a 1,080 horsepower Hellcat for traffic enforcement duty. Cops nowadays are not playing around, man. This is not the first time that I've seen this. I remember when the Hellcat first came out in like 2015. I remember there was a department down in Georgia that was using seized funds from like drug dealers and busts and all that stuff. And they were using those funds to go out and buy a Hellcat. Now, this is before the Redeye, this is before the wide body. They were going out to buy a Hellcat Charger, blacked out Hellcat Charger. And this particular Hellcat Charger was going to run the city $72,000. And that was money that wasn't taxpayer money, but it was actually drug seized money that they compiled together and decided that they were going to put towards a Hellcat. The difference between that and this is this Hellcat was seized. They didn't have to pay anything for it, right? The owner of this Hellcat lost his right to ownership of this automobile, right? And the Texas DPS was awarded this. The Charger Hellcat that I was talking about prior to, that department actually used department funds to buy that. And as a result, taxpayers and citizens down there made such an uproar about it that the police department was using $72,000 of the funds for a car that they eventually had to sell it back. This case, they seized this car and it's theirs. The reason that this is interesting is because you guys know on my channel a couple years back, probably about a year and a half, 2 years, there was a big seizure in Charlotte of street racing cars, Hellcat, Scat Packs, Chargers, Challengers, Mustangs, Camaros. There was even a Toyota Supra that they seized as well. Some of those cars, well, majority of those cars, the owners got back after time, going through the legal process, lawyers, all that good stuff. It was expensive. And to my understanding, while the car is seized, you're still making that car payment every month because technically it's still in your name and it's your car, although it's seized. So it's expensive in that end, and it's expensive to actually get out of the impound lot and get back into your custody. And one of my homeboys has a Scat Charger that got taken in the raid, and he said that he had to pay almost, when it was all said and done, he had to pay north of $3,000 to get his car back. Now for you, $3,000 may be a drop in the bucket, nickels and dimes, but for the average person, $3,000, that's money, ladies and gentlemen. That is money. That's money. But for the people that didn't get their cars back, and Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department really decided to, saw fit for those cars. In other words, they saw somewhere that we can use these cars. They kept them. The city of Charlotte, CMPD, kept those cars and refitted them for active duty on the police force. I've seen more Hellcat Chargers in North Carolina in the last year than I've seen ever before. And I can't imagine that these departments are using department funds to purchase these cars. They're literally taking seized cars and using it for their own purpose. I don't know why I'm seeing this more often now than ever before. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never saw this in the mid 2000s, early 2000s, 90s, and this, all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm used to seeing cars just get crushed or sold. Like, they would just sell those cars to auction, or they would crush them. Now police departments are looking at it like, hold on, we've got, in this case, 1,080 horsepower Hellcat Redeye, brand new for the most part. It's a 2020, little to no miles on it, clean. It's not damaged or anything like that. We're going to keep it, and we're going to use it for our own good. And not only that, but we're going to wrap it. We're going to put graphics on it and all that shit, graphics, lights, all that shit on there. And we're going to put it out there for active duty. Can you imagine trying to run from 1,000 horsepower Hellcat? There may be 1% of cars on the road right now that can outrun 1,000 horsepower Hellcat. And I may be over exaggerating. It may be 0.01% cars out there. There was a small percentage that can outrun a Hellcat Redeye as it is, 797 horsepower. But this one being 1,000 horsepower or over 1,000, and you're going to try to outrun it, good luck. These police departments are fed up, and they're not crushing these cars anymore. They're not selling them to auction. Your $100,000 muscle car is theirs now. And to my understanding, the owner doesn't have a damn say about it whatsoever. Because in this guy's case, he got charged with the felony for carrying an unlawful weapon, obviously evading the police, whatever damage was done to the city in the process of the chase. He's in jail. He's lost all of his rights. I mean, his rights are pretty much the state of Texas penitentiary system. You know what I'm saying? He has no rights. His car is their car at this point, and they're going to do with it as they please, and that's evident. If you've seen what they've done with this car, they've wrapped it. They took it to a wrap shop, got it wrapped in black and white, which I'm assuming that's the colors of state highway patrol or whatever the case may be. But it's theirs now. You got to be mindful of that, guys. I do my Mopars versus police series, which is straight, but you got to ask yourself, not only are you going to lose potentially your license for a little while, it'll be suspended or, banned permanently, depending on how bad it is. You could end up losing your damn car altogether. Your Hellcat, your Scat Pack, modified, whatever. They're going to rip all the graphics and all the bullshit off and make it theirs. Can you imagine how this guy's going to feel when he gets out of jail and he finds out that his 1,000 horsepower Hellcat Redeye, which is easily a $80,000, $85,000 car, depending on the options, is now being used by highway patrol in his city and state to get other people like him? It would break my heart if I saw my wide body Charger on 485 doing damn traffic duty. I would be hurt. You know what I'm saying? All the work that I put into this, I haven't really put in a lot of work in this car, and you guys know that. But in this guy's case, taking it from 797 to 1,000, come on now. This guy's going to be hurt. And you would be hurt as well if it happened to you. Use this as a cautionary tale. You either got to be good or good at it. Be good at being a good boy or be good at being a bad boy. But either way, you need to be good. You know, Texas got them a dope ass red eye. I'm not even gonna front. And apparently this is big news. Like, this is all over the place. And not only that, but a lot of citizens aren't happy with the fact that this Hellcat is now being used by police. They look at it like that's money that could have been, they're looking at it in a sense that, you know, police departments don't need that much power because, let's just be honest here, that's an ungodly amount of power, especially for a Hellcat. You guys know, like I know, if you drive a damn Scat Pack, you can't control it. The next time you're at a stoplight, hit the damn gas as hard as you can and watch you do a rolling burnout for the first 2 gears. That's an ungodly amount of power. Can you imagine being a state trooper and you're on the side of the road in the grass somewhere trying to lay low, and then somebody is doing 90 and a 70 or 80 and a 70, and it's time for you to go? You're going to spin like a motherfucker. And it's dangerous for not only you, but for the drivers around you. And a lot of citizens in Texas or in this particular city were trying to raise hell about this because it's like, that's an extremely dangerous car. It's dangerous in and of itself at 797. It's damn suicide in a car at 1,000 horsepower. Like, most people only drive 1,000 horsepower cars to the drag strip and to home and maybe to the gas station. Like, that's a purpose-built car. 1,000 horsepower Hellcat red eye. But Texas Police Department, oh yeah, it's purpose. Like, we're going to put it and use it as a purpose. We're going to be hunting you down. So on one end, you could say that it's a dangerous, unnecessary automobile for Texas Police Department to have. On the other hand, you could say, hey, listen, you ran from the cops. You lost it all. You lost your freedom, first and foremost. You lost whatever good record you had or, you know, didn't have at the time. And you lost your automobile. And whatever the police department decides to do with it, whether crush it, sell it, or keep it, it's their prerogative at this point. But that's where we're at. Just be honest with you. That is where we are at this point, guys. You know? It's just wild. It's wild to think that a police department is going to have 1,000 horsepower Hellcat red eye that's actually going to see some active duty. They also said that they're going to be using this car for, like, you know, social events and public events and shit like that, which basically means they're going to take it to schools and show it off for the kids and, you know, say, hey, listen, if you try to run, this is what's going to be behind you, a Hellcat red eye. And a lot of, you know, displays and stuff like that police departments do. But it also clearly stated that this car is going to see active duty. Crazy to think that in a time like this, we've got cops with 1,000 horsepower Hellcat red eyes chasing you. Nothing is safe at that point. No car that you own or build is safe to run from 1,000 horsepower Hellcat. Major L's will be taken in this particular city when it comes to cars trying to run. Trust me when I say that. But as always, guys, it's just one of those things I wanted to bring to you, man. Mopars is all over the place. It's crazy. All they say Christian McCaffrey is going to play today. Okay, we'll see how many quarters. But that's crazy, man. It's the world that we live in, man. 1,000 horsepower Hellcats being used by state troopers. Even in North Carolina, I've seen more Hellcat Chargers being used by state troopers than ever before. I've got so many people that send me pictures of SRT Hellcats that have state trooper, you know what I'm saying, tag on the back. Or it's got the lights, or it's blacked out. So you know it's a state trooper joint. It's crazy, man. Hopefully you don't live in this city and you don't drive a Mopar in this city, because if you do, you might want to go ahead and put your car in eco mode and just chill, because you don't have a chance. But as always, guys, it's your boy Knockout 360, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. Panthers are playing today. We got Arizona. We're gonna go ahead and take a quick L, and that'll be it for your boy. I'll see you guys in the next one, man. Peace.